So
2/3 of Americans are at risk to experience blackout. You could be one of them, sitting in the dark and cold for hours, for days, maybe even weeks. Are you ready to protect your family? You could be with Patriot Power Solar Generator 2000X. Folks say this new solar generator from 4 Patriots is worth its weight in gold. Why? Because this generator has double the capacity and is expandable so you can run the big appliances like your fridge even longer. Or other devices like an electric blanket, microwave, RV air conditioner, or even an electric wheelchair. You also get 12 outlets, including 4 AC outlets, so you can power more devices at once, and 2 USB-C outlets, which can charge your phone 20 times faster than a regular plug. Best of all, this new solar generator is fume-free, safe to use inside, and never needs gas, ever. Over 150,000 Americans trust Patriot Power generators. Go to 4patriots.com/VTTGW to get your solar generator now. You'll even get a solar panel included free. What's up, Gruntworks Nation? What's up, VTT? It's the Big Earl here, CEO, founder of VeteranTrashTalk. We're going to talk about financial advising because I don't know anything about that, and neither do most of you. However, some of you have money, and are you doing the right thing? We're going to bring on Army veteran Ken Hewitt, a financial advisor with Series 7, lightsaber stuff. I don't know, but he's skilled, he's qualified, and he's going to tell you what you should do with your money. So make sure you click on the interested or going on the events tab on either the Gruntworks page or Veteran Trash Talk page. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, trash talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
Here is a firm believer in all men are created equal, but not all men live equal. That is why there's a certain select number of people in the DoD who decided to jump out of airplanes. And yes, we are better than you. 100%. Now, don't be the first triggered pansy to say, well, airborne's not relevant. You haven't jumped since World War II. Well, that's not accurate, for one. And two, it's like having a jalopy or a 68 Mustang. Well, a 68 Mustang's no longer relevant. Doesn't matter. It's still a better car than yours. So take it easy this National Airborne Day and just accept that we are better than you.
So 2 things for today's Honesty Cap. First thing, how do all my boys from the 101st feel knowing that the Army decided that instead of actually making you airborne, they just create a whole new division that's airborne because you just aren't cutting it? It sucks. Thing number 2, for all the folks who were like, oh, airborne is irrelevant, doesn't even matter. They're making a whole new division of just airborne people because they're relevant. Think about that. How's that feel? Does it hurt a little bit? I hope it hurts a little bit.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's going on, Gruntworks Nation? We are live with, I think, episode 158. Now, I don't normally do this part of the show. All right, we have a person that is specifically for this, and he's not here. All right, he's a face man. All right, he's a good-looking dude. That's always supposed to say hi, and then he shuts up. Right, and he's just there to get ratings. But he's not here. But we do have to discuss this before I introduce everybody on the panel. Remember when we had Joe selling houses out of North Carolina? All right, Liza, that her name was Jocelyn, but we changed it to Joe Selling. Right, so Joe selling houses. Well, that created a rift in the universe, so where apparently you can only have one realtor on a show, and seeing as Dave's now a realtor, but we said, hey, let's schedule other realtors on the 11th, and then all of a sudden they're not here. So we don't know. However, this has worked out into our favor because what was it yesterday? That was Mill Spouse Day.
Yes, Friday.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
I mean, whatever. We did not plan this. All right. And then our good friend of ours, JC, who's been on the show, he sent out a message on LinkedIn, shared Liza's post about how they need some help, and they do a lot of stuff for the Mill Spouse community. And I said, hey, we got an opening on Saturday. Why don't you come give it a shot? So here we go. We got Buddy up here, the shaven Buddy.
Shorn, if you will.
Well, and then Liza, a little background on that. He's about to marry into royalty in France, so you can't show up into France for a royal wedding with a beard. So he had to shave it. But also on the dumpster fire today, we have Liza, who is an entrepreneur. And we will get into more of that when we introduce her to do her talking points. But how's it going, everybody?
Good. How are you? How's everything? How's everyone doing?
This is good.
We had, so speaking of French royalty, she was introduced to Tennessee Spring the other day with a tornado going over the house. It didn't touch the ground, but it went over the house, and some softball size hail. Well, baseball size hail, depending.
Well, now that we're good friends, do I get invited to this wedding in France? Because that sounds like a good time to me.
Hey, it's gonna be. It's gonna be in the south of France, if you will.
Now, there's a difference, right? In South, you explained this on one show, the difference between South and North France.
Yeah, North France is like Detroit, and South France is like the Gulf Coast.
All right, I'm in for that one then.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Hey, you can take my spot. I can't go.
The south of France is way better. Trust me.
Yeah,
100%.
And how you doing, Liza? How's your weekend going so far?
So far, so good. I got all my chores done today, so that Mother's Day tomorrow I can chill. So that's my goal for tomorrow. It's just to hang out and do nothing.
Yeah. So happy early Mother's Day to you as well. And we did a show like 2.5 years ago. I did a short about being successful breeders. So shout out to to all the moms out there that did their job and are doing their job to the best of their ability and are pretty much the reason why. Well, they are the reason why we're here. So it's pretty awesome to.
Some of them are the reason why we're here. Some of them just wanted a back rub. Mine, I think just wanted a back rub.
Yeah. You see what that happened was, but all right, let's kick the dumpster fire off with a nice little honesty cap from Buddy.
Yeah. So actually, that was a great lead into the honesty cap because tomorrow is Mother's Day, and then a couple weeks from now, whatever is Memorial Day. And I have a lot of pet peeves. We all know that. That's where this whole honesty cap came from. One of my biggest pet peeves is using a holiday for the wrong thing. So, PSA, Memorial Day is coming up. And just like tomorrow being Mother's Day, you wouldn't go tell your dad how great of a job he's doing. Memorial Day is not for you, veterans. For the civilians, don't go to the veterans and say, hey, man, happy Memorial Day. Thanks for your service, because it's not about their service. It's about people. That's Veterans Day. That's on November 11th at 11 o'clock. When it is. That's when you thank veterans. Memorial Day is when you think about people that lost their lives in the service of the country. That being said, if you're a veteran and you're looking forward to Memorial Day because you can mope around and act like a fucking pansy for Memorial Day, and you can make it about you, Memorial Day is not about you. It's about your boys and ladies that you lost in combat. So I've got this idea. Instead of walking around with a chip on your shoulder, acting like everybody that's going to a barbecue is a communist or the enemy of the state, instead, these guys that you knew so well and you feel so bad that they're dead, figure out something that they really like to do and go fucking do that, because they can't. If they like to spend time with their family, go spend time with your family or call their family. If they like to have a barbecue, have a barbecue. If they like to drink a certain type of beer, drink that certain type of beer, and be happy that A, you got to know those people and you were blessed with the opportunity to have them in your life, and B, that you made it through, and C, that you have the opportunity to remember them and remember them how they would want to be remembered, and don't remember them how being sad, being grumpy, and being annoying to everybody by running around all these civilians and telling them how shitty they are because they're going to a sale and getting 20% off and having a barbecue. It's not what it's about. It's about having a good time. So if you had a buddy that liked 20% off, go get you some furniture, homie.
Yeah, that's what I got my mattress.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, Memorial Day sale.
Yeah, you don't have to run around acting like a triggered pansy because it's Memorial Day and the world's supposed to stop and be sad for you. It's not about you. So that's my honesty cap of the day. It's a little bit less lighthearted, but
yeah, a little early.
It's only 3 weeks early.
Yeah, I mean,
and
a little early.
It's 3 weeks early because this is a warning. Like, this is just a warning. Don't be a dick. All right, don't run around and make people who would have had a great day have a not great day because you feel bad for yourself. Because you don't feel bad for them, you feel bad for yourself. That's why you're being a dick. So stop being a dick.
Right, and I'm pretty sure for Liza's new on the show, and we just talked on LinkedIn a couple days ago and got connected. We started this platform for our own mental health during COVID. So just getting on here, shooting the shit. We decided to record it. It got real popular for some reason. Don't know why, right? And got to 60,000 fans. Then Facebook started shutting us down and going through that whole rigmarole. Now we're pretty solid with Facebook and got about 500,000 followers on Gruntworks and about 150 here. So it's on Veteran Trash Talk. But this is what Buddy's talking about, was the idea of this shirt. All right. So Chris, put the helpless plug up there, like the shameless plug up there. All right. We got quit being a triggered pansy. Now, what Buddy's talking about and what we love about this shirt is when I wear this to the airport every time I travel. And right away, people start to get political about it. And I'm like, this is no political thing to it. In fact, this shirt is for you because you saw this and literally got triggered and started trashing Trump or started trashing Biden. Like, no, this shirt is for you. And then you know who loves this shirt in airports, buddy? The workers. The workers, right? The airline employees. Because, there's that sweet old lady who's just scanning tickets, and then the plane like it's delayed, and somehow it's her fault. Like she had nothing to do with that, and then they're yelling at her, you know. And it's like, so when she sees that sees the shirt, she's always like, "Oh, thank you for wearing that," because she starts laughing. It's like, just tell people. But yeah, going back to your honesty, Cap, it really paints a bad picture for veterans. And we always say this: don't disenfranchise us by saying, as a veteran, if a civilian says thank you for your service on Memorial Day, all right, be respectful, right? Like, just say, I appreciate that, all right. But do you understand what Memorial Day is? And then maybe you just taught them something, all right. But no, it's so bad. And Buddy's right, spot on with that. When people get upset about it, it's just no, you're not supposed to have barbecues. It's not about barbecues. Well, first of all, like the guy who saved my life, who is no longer on this planet, all right, stats aren't Dutch, right? Stats aren't Estes. He drank Rolling Rock. And I was a trigger pansy for years after, on Memorial Day, getting hammered drunk, isolate myself, being stupid about it. And it's where it's like, wait a minute. I just somehow, like Buddy said, made this day about me, right? And it's not supposed to be about me. So now we do a great thing with this platform, and we do have a Memorial Day show. And I know a lot of the Gold Star, mothers of our friends who we lost watch the show, and they love it. And they come on and we tell stories about their sons. It really, really helps them. And I get messages from them. Like I said, I still play Words with Friends with one of my buddies' moms. So it's like, yeah, go enjoy a barbecue, right? Because that's what they would do, right? That's exactly what they would do. But yeah, Liza, what do you think?
Well, I've definitely seen all sides of it. I was obviously a civilian myself. I'm a military spouse. I have not served myself in it. And I've seen a lot of wars online about Memorial Day versus Veteran Days. And a lot of people get really heated on the difference between the two and correcting them all. And I think anytime we can celebrate someone's life in a way that's meaningful. So stop, take a moment, remember the fallen. I know my husband, he served, had friends that were killed in battle, and just taking a moment to remember those things and celebrating them in the ways that make sense to you and to your family and to your other battle buddies, I think it's a great way to remember it, and not to get too bent out of shape for people who just really have good intentions, but maybe it's just applied wrong, right? They're good intention to thank you for your service. They really have a good intention there, but it's just misguided.
Well, I think you're probably right, Nick, when you say that, when they say thank you. First of all, thanking people for their service, I don't know, for me, it's the most awkward thing.
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh, I mean, all right, but I was doing it before. Okay, thanks. I don't know how to answer it. The only one that I've ever heard that really made any difference or made any sense, it was a person that's like, I heard somebody thanked him for their service, and he was like, "You're worth it." Mm-hmm. And then just kept it moving. And I thought great. That was a pretty good,
writing that down.
A pretty good answer. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to there are opportunities in your life that you can be negative or you can be positive. If somebody thanks you for your service on Memorial Day, it's an opportunity, just like Nick said, to go, well, you're worth it. I appreciate it. But just so you know, today is about like the guys that didn't make it. They gave the ultimate sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. And you tell them about one of your friends. That's a thing you could do. But at the end of the day, I think that I think we've all gone through the Memorial Days where we stayed locked up in our room and just, were mopey and sad and all of that. The problem is that doesn't serve anybody any positive purpose other than just sitting in your room being locked up. If you go out and do something that is positive, you kind of change the perspective of the holiday, and you actually do get to celebrate those guys. So, yeah.
Well said. We got Jack's Law coming in on YouTube. Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel. We are shadow banned on it. They don't like a lot of the stuff that we say. So if you can, go subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook right now, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We have a lot of shorts on there that are really funny. especially like I like mine over Buddy's. Or I think I prefer my shorts are better than yours. So
You
like,
each have
we have,
more of them.
and see, it is Liza's coming from one of the golf capitals, one of the golf meccas of the United States. I have one entitled Veterans Go Golfing, right? So it's like, hey, just don't be that guy in the golf course either, right? Like, it doesn't help any of us, right? And like, if you're on stroke 12, just pick the ball up and go to the next hole, right?
Yeah, you won't be able to play on Pinehurst if you're on stroke 12.
Yeah. There's pros that get 12s on Pinehurst, so good luck. Good luck. And then Buddy has some of the funny ones, some of the instructional videos for you bachelors out there. It's pretty solid. His best tip to pick up girls is just be taller. So
100%. Everybody knows that. There's a surgery for that now.
It worked
right?
for you. You're marrying royalty. Yeah.
There's a surgery for that now, right?
You mean taller? What do you get? You get like shin, like
No, they break your femur apparently, and then put metal in there and stretch you out. There was a dude that went from like 5'6" to 6'1" or some shit like that, and I was just like,
yeah,
that seems like a lot for Tinder. You know what I mean? Like, that's,
yeah,
a little bit ridiculous.
Nice. So you had a guy who looked like he was older than Earl at one time. Yeah, probably. I'm an old dude, man. This is what it is. Actually, Buddy's older than me.
I think they're just saying that shaven.
Yeah,
I don't look as crusty and old and angry as I do when I have a beard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the point of having a beard, so that people don't talk to you anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can get to to Liza here and see if our community watching, and then again, if you're downloading the podcast later, you can always come on Facebook and see any of the links that you're asking us to share it, and it should be in the description when it gets uploaded onto Spotify and iTunes and all that good stuff. But we got a LinkedIn post from a good buddy of mine saying that that something was shut down, and I'll let Liza explain it. That cost about 200 people their jobs, and a lot of them are military family related. But to introduce Liza, she is an entrepreneur, right? Who apparently, when I was reading her bio and I was sharing it with Buddy, she likes to go on a lot of adventures.
Yeah,
so she raised.
Tell us what
16 million in venture capital. So
venture capital.
So
is that like what kind of adventures?
Are you going to the moon? Right, like
that is what you're required to do when you raise venture capital.
I'm an venture capitalist.
Yeah. We like capitalists and we like going on adventures. So we like what a great bio. And then but anyways, she is a very successful entrepreneur, and I'll let her explain what she's doing now. She got a piece of the big girl sarcasm, when it takes me about 3 minutes to write the script for this dumpster fire show. So I was like, tell us about how you've been lobbying to make sure that mil spouses are saluted at the gate, and how, that you were doing your best to make sure that happens. All right. And they give you the respect, and the rank that you burned. But no, that is not why she's here. She is here because she is doing an awesome service and getting mil spouses, remote job opportunities. And then when something bad like this happens, it really, gut punches people and puts them into a lot of trouble. So, Liza, welcome to the dumpster fire. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in your career, and then get into how maybe our community, maybe somebody watching, maybe somebody listening can help.
All right. Well, thank you guys for the opportunity to be here. Appreciate it. I know I was a last minute guest, so excited to be here. As everyone mentioned, I'm Liza Rodewald. I'm CEO, founder of Instant Teams. I am a mother of 4. I'm married to my active duty spouse. He's still in. We've got about 5 more years, hoping to hang out here at Fort Liberty, used to be Fort Bragg. And I had a background actually in software engineering before I became a military spouse myself. So I ran my own software company, completely remote, before remote was really a thing, when my husband and I got together. And then right after we got married, he said, hey, I want to go back active duty. So he was active duty, then he was in the reserves. We dated while he was in the reserves. Right after we got married, he went back active duty. And I had my job, I had my company, and it was able to move around with me. So the very first military area we were in was Clarksville, Tennessee. And every single, Campbell, and every single spouse that I met would say, hey, how are you working? How are you able to continue to do this? And can you help me? And I'm an entrepreneur. I've had 4 businesses total. And so after hearing it so many times, I just started having coffees with other spouses, teaching them how to contract, how to freelance, how to pitch remote work, do different things. And I just thought, I think there's an opportunity here for some ideas I had in the software space to plug in the military community into that and create these job opportunities remotely for military spouses. So in 2016, I started Instant Teams with another Army spouse, and our goal and our mission was to improve the financial wellness of military families through military spouse remote employment. And we started iterating on that and trying to figure out, okay, what are the business problems we can solve and give those jobs to the military spouses. So that's how we've been working ever since. We have raised venture capital. We have scaled the company fast throughout the years and given thousands of military spouses jobs. We've paid over $40 million in payroll directly to the military spouse community. So we've done a lot of good, and we've also been able to solve a lot of great business problems. So it's a good business model that enables, it's a win-win for both sides. Win-win for the corporates that we work with, and win-win for the military spouse community.
That's awesome. I like how you bridge the gap there, and we tend to circle back on this as we bring veteran-owned businesses, first responder-owned businesses, all that stuff, to where you had a problem because, again, you had something happen in your life, right? And there's all kinds of self-help books and leadership books that talk about it. That a lot of great ideas come from something that gets screwed up in the person's life. Or even something good that happens in someone's life, but they get that idea and to bridge that gap. Now, tell the truth. Is the majority of your coaching to put the GS job description on their resume and make it white ink so that they can't see it?
Yeah, not at all. We actually developed a skills-based hiring platform for that very reason. To give spouses the ability to go into some of these jobs and democratize the access to jobs based on your skills and what you can actually do versus feeding it into these ATS systems, which is what you talked about, that basically just kick everybody out.
Right. Yeah. My wife, had a horrible time trying to get a job in the GS system. And, I literally had people say, well, that's because she's got to cheat. And I'm sitting here like, what? And I'm like, I'll tell her, but I don't think she's going to do it. But no, what I forgot to say it because I'm just, my brain scatters and I'm a squirrel, but you got off your butt and did something, right? You had a problem, you did something about it. And I don't think it's shocking to many people listening or watching that, and like Jack's Law says on Facebook, he says, impressive, you must have a lot of drive. Right. Talk about some of those things that, maybe there's some spouses watching now that, or anybody even on the, the retired veteran community of like, what was besides, obviously what you said about, needing to do something as a military spouse now that have to be remote. What's the drive, and what were some of the things that happened that, gave you trouble that you had to push through?
Yeah. Well, the entrepreneurial journey is just full of trouble. It's very hard to do. I think for me, I knew we had so many good stories that came out of us being able to help. And so everyone would ask me like, Liza, why go raise venture? Why go do all this stuff? Because you could have a good lifestyle business. This could be easier for you. Why are you pushing so hard? Like you say, why are you pushing the boundary so much? Like only 2.2% of venture capital go to female founders, by the way, very small. I'm also a military spouse moving all around. I lived in Hawaii when I raised the money, by the way. So I raised all of our funds completely remotely, which was never heard of, those kinds of things. And my drive was because I knew the bigger company I build, the more of an impact I could have on the military spouse side. I could keep it a lifestyle business and I could employ 30 or 40 people and I could make, good money doing that. But if I employ hundreds of thousands of spouses, now I'm starting to make an impact on that 26% unemployment. that the community faces. And so that's my drive. That's my why of how I can help. The more I knock down those doors. And I just like, honestly, and I know I'm on a veterans podcast, so there's probably a bunch of men watching me right now, but I like to pave the way for women. I've always been a hard worker. I've always been career driven. I've always had goals and ambitions of my own, but I have kids. I have 4 children. I wanted to do it both. I wanted to have it both. And I want other women, military spouses are mostly women, 90%, there are 10% males, but I want to open those pathways for that community to really be able to have it both ways. And women have it hard to do all that. And then to be a military spouse is even worse, right? Because then you're just yanked out of places, your service member's gone a lot, you're having to, move. It just makes it that much harder. And so I'm just driven to like help bring as many of these opportunities, because I have them both, and I've enjoyed that for a long time, and I just want to help other people get it.
So
very nice.
2 things, Liza, real quick. Yeah. First of all, what can you explain what a lot of people don't know? I mean, a lot of people use the words capitalism and socialism and communism and don't really know the difference between any of them. But what is venture capital? Mm-hmm. And then what does Instant Team do as far as are you raising venture capital for your own business, or are you getting capital, or people that have capital to provide it to other ventures for people that are military spouses that want to open up their own business?
Okay, so part 1, venture capital is just a mechanism that different, what they call LPs, so limited partners, put in money into a venture fund. And then you have fund managers that manage that money, and they go invest in startups. It's mostly seen in the technology space, but it can be applied to different types of industries. But most tech startups are venture backed in some form if they make it to a scalable state. So venture capitalists are not necessarily people that they don't invest their own money. They invest money they get from investors. They raise a fund just like you would raise a round of money. And so for Instant Teams, we're not a nonprofit, we're a for-profit company. And I knew in order to scale it to where I needed to go, I needed to raise venture capital for that. And so I started building my network and working on that. So the money that Instant Teams comes in to fuel the growth that we have, so that we can get more job opportunities, we can hire more people onto our payroll, we can continue to scale the company to what we said earlier, the moon, right? Venture capital wants a 10x return on their money. Mm-hmm. And so when you raise venture, you're required to grow fast. That's the train that you're now on. So you no longer can be a lifestyle business. You are shooting for the moon.
Shooting for the moon. I like it.
So what does Instant Team, what is what do you guys do? I mean, when you're hiring people, what are you hiring spouses to do? Are they talking to people to raise capital, or are they in some other?
Oh, no. So venture capital is like a segmentation of like what funds a business, right? So that helps to fund Instant Teams. But Instant Teams is a customer experience marketplace. And that means we build customer experience teams for enterprise customers, mid-market customers. That can be anywhere from entry-level email chat support type roles all the way to very sophisticated account management, software demos, different types of things. So we have entry-level to mid. We focus on that part. And we partner with companies in several different ways. One is to completely outsource teams to us, which is kind of what we'll talk about, like what happened in that spot. So companies will build an entire team of customer experience individuals from us. They go on Instant Teams payroll. We pay them, we give them benefits, 401k, all of that great stuff. And then they work on that customer account. Then customers have the ability to hire directly from us as well. So we work with them in that way.
Mm-hmm. So
would you say that, Buddy, quick, would you say those were great questions by Buddy?
I was about to follow it up with a great question.
I would say I know the level of maybe of venture understanding from the questions, but yeah, we are not a venture fund. So just so everyone knows, don't ask us for money. We're not giving out money.
So what you're saying is, if you're interested in opening up a business, call Liza.
Yeah, maybe after I'm done with this.
Or if you want to go rappelling or some type of race, For an adventure.
Yeah, for an adventure. Yeah, you're
And
ready.
you can call it that. No, but
Great question, buddy. Let me get
you're
to it.
hiring the people that, like, if you go on and Amazon is like, do you want to chat now? They're the people that are answering your questions, and like the customer service rep, that's the 24-hour chat lines, basically.
Yeah. And the reason we kind of focused on that is because once I went into the business space and was like, okay, what kind of problem can we solve? We have US citizens located across the globe in every time zone. They speak multiple languages. They have very unique lived experiences. And so they make excellent customer facing people. It doesn't have to be just entry level customer service. It could be account management, marketing type roles that are interfacing with customers, sales, those types of things. So the market fit was on that side. And so that's why we doubled down on that. And that's why we've been able to scale, because we're solving a real business problem and we're giving those jobs to military spouses versus going in to a company and saying you should hire a military spouse because it's a good thing to do. Like, we're actually solving the problem and generating job opportunities.
Right. All right. So we got VRS, Vet Radio Syndicate, on the chat, and says, have a great show, except for the banana pepper arm on the bottom. You don't want none of this. All right. You don't want none of it. I don't care if you wrestle at Ohio State. But hey, maybe George, maybe you can help us with this next part we're going to talk about here with Liza, and help maybe share the story and get it out there, because they have a big audience too. What you said that for women businesses, and I don't want to get too much into that, and because we want to talk about the issue that you're facing right now. But what we figured out at Veteran Trash Talk by being professional is we have tended to get a lot more women veterans on the platform. And a big shout out to the majority of our moderators on the pages are women veterans. And one of the things they said about, hanging out with combat arms guys was that in the military is that they felt a little safer with us, because we usually tended to be more professional. But we got into some fights because you got to look at things at different perspectives. And shout out to Monica, who runs all of the moderators on our page. I said, what's so significant about women's history? I'm like, what? Like, why do we have to keep bringing this up, and why do we have to even care anymore in 2024? Right? Like, why can't we just, why do I have to say this? Look at how great this woman's doing, when I can't just say, look at how good Liza's doing. Like, just why do we have to make it about that? And she explained it that it's still very, very difficult. And like you said, with venture capitalists, 2% of the money goes to women entrepreneurs. It's difficult. It's difficult to get in that space. So putting attention towards that it has a lot of value to it. So Monica, I appreciate you educating me, all right, and not being a triggered pansy when I went after it. But so yeah, so you were saying on LinkedIn that one of your biggest customers closed its doors and put 200 people out of work. All right. So talk about that a little bit. Talk about what your plan of action is, if you're still working through it, and how somebody, like I said, somebody maybe listening to this could help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the entrepreneurial journey, there's always like a lot of ups and downs. And this one it's definitely a down moment. But I think I put on my LinkedIn post, they say, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond. And so as the CEO and the leader, I wanted to, be really transparent about what happened with that account. And then I wanted to reach out and see like what I can do to help outside of the stuff we were already doing. So one of our bigger customers was owned by a very big conglomerate. And after their Q1 earnings came out, they decided to shut it down completely. And they notified us at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, and they turned off my people's equipment that they were working on at the same exact time. So we had zero warning, zero knowledge that it was happening. And so we had no time to really react, to put plans together. I mean, 200 people is a lot of people to mobilize and move. I will say my team did an amazing job in that moment, taking care of people. Our first priority was like, how do we take care of the people on the account? And then we'll figure out, where we move forward next on that. And so that was one of the things we did. And so we were able to negotiate some great severance time for them, some extra payments for them, They kept their benefits and everything. So we were able to take care of them as best as we could. And what we're trying to do now is, if you're talking about 200 people, that's a lot of people to put into other accounts. Yes, we do have other customer accounts, and yes, we do have new business coming in, but that is an awful lot of people to move into new roles. And so my goal of the LinkedIn post was, one, to just be transparent about what happened, so everybody that follows me and understands and knows what happened as a company. And then two, to reach out to my network, who have been so amazing to me along this journey. I have gotten so much support, and I know there's a lot of people that have built businesses, and a lot of women that have had negative experiences with venture capital, but I've had nothing but positive experiences. I have so much support. And so I tagged my network and said, hey, who can you introduce me to? And I gave like a very succinct list. I'm looking for these titles: VPs, C-suites of organizations in the customer experience roles. So VPs in like VP of customer success, VP of customer operations, operational people that are in these roles at companies, so that I can get these military spouses and civilians that work on this account back into another role with Instant Teams. They all were messaging. They even messaged on my LinkedIn thread, if you go look at it, and say, hey, we want to really stay with Instant Teams. We're trying, we love the company, we love the mission, we love the people we work with, can we get some help here? So that was kind of like my bat signal up, saying, hey, network, I know you guys are amazing. I could use some introductions so that I can get these people back to work, because that's my full focus, my full priority right now is making sure they're all taken care of.
Yeah, and Buddy was asking, is there a reason, like, do we want to say the company or do we not want to say the company, and does it matter?
I just try not to be too disparaging, so the focus doesn't go on that company. Like, it was, a terrible thing that happened. It's not a bad company, right? It was a purely financial decision. It had nothing to do with our performance, had nothing to do with the people. There were a lot of other people that lost their jobs outside of just my contract. So that's the only reason why, just from in a professional space, I'd rather, you can look it up. You can Google it and it'll come up.
Nice.
Well, I think the question is not so that people can like cancel the company or do whatever.
Yeah.
I would say, like, for my own ignorance, I haven't heard of anybody or of any large companies closing anything recently. I know that there are some that have been. I mean, let's face it, the economy right now is not
It's
booming.
not right.
If you it, and maybe that will change in the next year or so, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're all hoping.
Yeah, and that being said, I mean, to try to not make this at all political or unprofessional or anything like that, I think that that's a big thing, a big difference between, from what I've seen, like an organization that's owned and run by a female CEO, and an organization that's a lot of organizations that are run by like a more male dominated board or CEO, is that organizations that are female run, financially, that may not be their financial side is not always their priority. A lot of times it is the people. And so a lot of times for the people that are working for them, it's a better company to work for, because you guys actually, and I can see, like, for your part being a military spouse and hiring military spouses, what they're going through. And then when they do have a job and they're making that money, and then all of a sudden it's just disappeared, it's hard for people to plan for, hey, Tuesday morning you have a job, Tuesday afternoon those bills that you had gotten because you thought that you were a little bit secure is no longer secured. Have you had a lot of where are you at with finding those 200 people new opportunities, and other companies, have they reached out to you? Is the LinkedIn thing working? How's that going?
Yeah, so I've booked over 22 sales calls in the last less than 7 days, which is great. I did 6 of them yesterday, back to back. So we're definitely getting some good intros, some good traction. My team has met, my recruitment team has met with 80 of them. They're working with them on putting them in different positions and doing things on that side. So we're chipping away at it. It just takes a while to kind of get everything into position and into motion there. But I could definitely use more help. So people that are watching this, you know, if there's a good intro that you have, I will gladly take it to get some of them to work.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then networking has been something that we've been able to really excel at with Veteran Trash Talk. One of the perks of again being genuine and being professional, like our podcast is, in that we have a dumpster fire, we have a good time on it. But you know, the intent is always there, like we talked about earlier. So the intent is always good. Who can we promote? How can we help them? So I just want to talk to the people listening out there and watching. You know, who you surround yourself with, and who you know. And I will get biblical for Buddy, right? Where you know, my favorite verse is Isaiah 54. You know, where you bring people into your tent to expand it, right? Don't bring people into your tent that collapse it, right? So I'm saying this because, like Liza pointed out when she put out the call for help, right? It got to my page. It got onto my network, right? Because of Veteran Trash Talk. So I really want to thank the community of Veteran Trash Talk for you know, being here and spreading the word. Because when you have that right group of people, like when somebody like JC like says something, I don't have to validate it, right? If JC's asking me to help Liza and Liza's company, right, I'm already, what do you need me to do, JC? Right? How can I help? Maybe we don't help. Maybe nothing comes from this. But you know what? It doesn't matter, right? My friend asked for help, and now maybe Liza and Veteran Trash Talk become friends, right? And the network just keeps getting bigger. All right. So huge shout out to you, and a huge shout out to the Veteran Trash Talk community, and to, you know, like I think he started working for the Commit Foundation, or yeah. So big shout out to them for spreading it around. But yeah, when you say how can you help, again, because talking to people who may be listening that probably can't help you, but maybe they know somebody that can. Mm-hmm. So are you looking for an enterprise level account? Are you looking for connections to, like, hey, maybe if we get 3 or 4 mid-level ones, you know, and then we can start getting these people jobs. Is that kind of what you're looking for? Yeah.
So anyone who wants to hire 2 people, I will talk to them. We'll do it 1-2 people at a time, right? Till we get it done. So no thing is too small or too large, right? Because we can scale up and put a lot of people in jobs. So enterprise, mid-market is our normal area we play. But we do work with a lot of startups and companies that are just now building out their customer success or customer experience teams. And we can help them in that. So we can put the first person on that team for them. We can kind of coach them along the way of how to build that up, how to structure it. My team comes in as experts. We build that as you grow and you start scaling, we can build the rest of the team out. We can build the leadership team on top of that for you and really work with you all along the way. So, you know, no company is too small necessarily. So we'll work in that way, but it's in that customer experience realm. So if you want like a really highly technical person that has 20 years of experience, it's not what these 200 people will do, right? I will say, these 200 people are hardcore. So they're used to outbound dialing, which is a really hard thing to do, right? You dial outbound, they're getting cussed at, they're getting, like, you know, people.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, people aren't always the nicest, right, in that area. So these people are highly skilled, highly motivated. They have a lot of grit. They know how to sell. Their job was to qualify leads and pass those to licensed insurance agents to create policies. So that's what they were doing. You know, they have a lot of great people skills. They're used to high volume. And so those are the type of roles we want to put them in. So for your organizations, you know, or people that you know that are in leadership positions at these organizations, that's the kind of people you can play in your sales and your service, and any role that you have that really requires that ability to connect with people and the ability to communicate and the ability to generate opportunity.
Right. No, hey, thanks for explaining that. So again, if you're out there, and then a lot of people will be downloading this later and listening to it. So, it wasn't the usual, dumpster fire of us making fun of another veteran. We're bringing somebody on.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're still got there's still time.
We're going to get through the professional part first.
Yeah, honestly, I've been a little bit scared. I'm like, am I the only military spouse who's been on this show? I don't know.
No, you're
definitely not. But I thought that I heard earlier that you said that your husband was EOD.
Yes.
Here we go. Now we get into it. Yeah.
But don't ask me a ton of questions because I
would just like you to pass on a message. That's it.
Okay.
I just want him to know that Nick and I are still unhappy about the wait period for services rendered in Iraq. Just so he knows.
Okay. Well,
6 hours is too long. We're still
happy. And let him know that coming over the radio and saying, "Hey, is the area secured yet?" Right? It's like
been secured for hours.
It's been secured for hours. All right, but we're still getting shot at. That is secure for us. Okay, we have it blocked off, but we'll return fire too. It's like you're fine. Just get out of here. But you're sitting there getting all. I bet he's jacked too. He gets all jacked in the gym because he's he's just waiting. Oh man.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. But his to his defense, he was a Cav Scout in Iraq.
Oh no! Oh,
you didn't help him. You didn't help.
You did not help him.
No,
you didn't help
him. Not help at all.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All
that's
right.
before dismount. All right.
All right.
However,
I once watched a Cav guy in Bakuba traverse a turret of a giant machine so that he could hold on to the gun while defecating off of the side of it so that he didn't have to get off the tank.
Yes.
Just
it's
saying.
Scary. That's before dismount. However, we will give your husband credit over Jen's husband. Jen's civil affairs, and he plays really loud music on a megaphone. And it's like, and then he grows his hair out like he's an operator, right? Like no, your civil affairs. Stop it. But that's what we would do if they were on the show. We would give them a bunch of that and then let them promote it. But yeah, we don't want to turn that into them whatsoever. But no, we the military spouse thing, it kind of hit me because today was the anniversary of my wife graduating from University of Hawaii Manoa. And you think about the accomplishment of having 2 young children on an island where I was a first sergeant at the time. So my days were very busy, very long. And, for her to be able to finish school while running the house is something that a lot of people, you might like, wow, that's really great. No, it's really, really tough. And it's not gender specific, but like you said, 90% of the spouses are women. And, they're just trying to find something. And because as you know, Liza, your life just gets, get moved. Mm-hmm. Right. And, especially during the GWAT, it's like, and if you're in one of the better units that, can be, no notice deployed, like all of a sudden just gone, mm-hmm. And it's like, when are you gonna be back? I don't know, like 3 or 4 months, maybe, hopefully, like, hope so. Right. And then, it's 15 months now. Oh, okay. Like, and so now you gotta do all that stuff. And it's just, I really appreciate what you're doing. And, obviously having a business that has a great purpose should succeed. So anybody listening, let's try to help Liza get these people back to work. A lot of them are mil spouses, and we all know this. Here's the answer. We'll get political for you, buddy. You see this, they go up, they testify on Capitol Hill about housing, about how much food costs, right? About how, soldiers below the rank of E6 are on WIC, right? Mm-hmm. And they're literally on food stamps while serving our country, right? Here is another avenue that you're not waiting for somebody else to help you, right? If you have an idea, if you want to go get a job, right, go to one of these companies and say, hey, I need a job, right? Can I work remote doing something? There's people out there like Liza that will help you in her company. So before we go to the AAR, give us the last word, Liza, and where people can go to find you, where they can go to help. And if they are looking for a job, how would they go about it?
Sure. So you can connect with us at instantteams.com. There's a contact us that'll go straight to my team. You can fill that out with any information you have. If you're looking for job opportunities, you can go to the website and actually you can see the jobs we have available. You click apply, you'll be brought into our system. You'll go through the process, meet with a recruiter. and you can connect there. We post our jobs also on Instagram, so you can follow us at Instant Teams on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel, and of course Facebook as well. So most of the new opportunities are there. The other thing that I will mention is we do have an app that's only for military spouses. It's the only actual verified military spouse app. So we verified through ID.me your military spouse affiliation, called 12 Million Plus. And we try to make sure the job opportunities are all posted there as they're going live, so that you get first look at the new job opportunities coming out. So if military spouses are interested there, we have other resources, employment, upskilling, other nonprofit partners that we have that come into the app that give educational information. So you can download the 12 Million Plus app and join our community there too.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Liza. Thanks so much. And hopefully somebody listening here can, maybe help those 200 people that are out of work. And if not, we gave it a shot, right?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Anytime we can amplify the message, there's always an opportunity.
Yeah. And again, like before I give Buddy, I don't want to give Buddy the mic just yet. Just yet. Because he wanted to bring up can we not necessarily to bash the company, but can we talk about not saying names? And it's reminded me of something that Ben Owen said when we started Task Force Lahaina to help with the Maui fires. Was the first thing you got to do is focus on what you need to fix first, all right, before we start making the story about something else. So we're not wrong to, hey, what company did lay all these people off? But the first mission is to get these 200 people jobs again, right? And then maybe we can do it. So yeah, we'll take that bad idea from Buddy away, where we won't bash the company.
Sorry, Buddy.
I'm gonna find out after we.
No, I'm because he's always.
Don't worry.
He's always saying he asks great questions. I'm just saying,
now I gotta Google it.
Maybe this one wasn't the greatest, but okay. All right, Buddy. Yeah, give us the AR.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, tomorrow's Mother's Day, so make sure you give your mom a card, a hug, call her, do something. Don't talk to your dad. Don't even worry about it. Just walk past him, give your mom a hug. Same thing for Memorial Day. We already talked about that. And then again, so we have Liza on from Instant Team, and it says more that Liza is a busy entrepreneur and CEO of a company that is willing to spend an hour or two of her day on a Saturday instead of being with her family and her husband and doing what anybody else would be doing on a Saturday. That instead she's on a podcast talking to people about getting the 200 people that she has that she clearly feels responsible for to get them employment. And we talked about the 90% of spouses are female and 10%, but there's another 90-10 that we don't think about when we talk about spouses, that 10% of the spouses that give spouses a bad name are kind of ruin it for the other, but 90% are just trying to be supportive wives, supportive husbands, caregivers, take care of the house when people are gone, but they also want something for themselves, something that gives them purpose and gives them an identity of their own, other than Sergeant so-and-so's wife or Captain so-and-so's wife or the lady at the FRG meeting. So the work that Liza's doing is super important. The people that she's hiring are super important, and it's important for us to help out our community, and those spouses are our community. So if you know anybody, if you know a CEO, or anybody that's looking for a marketing team or a team, then what's it going to hurt you to give her a call and give them a shot? You can hire 1 or 2 people. You can hire 200 people if you want.
That'd be great.
But at the end of the day, you have a group of people that's motivated to work, and your willingness to risk a little bit will pay off in loyalty that a lot of people don't understand. So give Instant Team a call and let's try to get these people some jobs. So that's it for the AAR.
It hates me to say it, buddy, but those are some great points. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. So help close us out. Remember, this shirt, it's our signature shirt for the month. So go scan the QR code, get yourself one, and wear it as a reminder to yourself. All right, so that everybody gets triggered. All right, don't be a pansy about it. Get off your butt and do something good and rectify the situation that triggered you. All right, as opposed to just whining about it and ruining it for everybody else. But other than that, Liza, I hope we can do some good with this, and please keep us updated. And if you ever have a veteran-owned business that you want to promote or plug, just send them our way. We'll bring them on here. And again, really appreciate you coming on and taking the time. And to all the spouses out there and all the mothers out there, we love you and hope you have a great week. All right, we'll see you guys next week. This is a food warning. The UN warns of an unprecedented global hunger crisis. In fact, it's predicted by 2030 that 800 million folks will struggle to feed their families, which means two dangerous things for you. Number one, higher prices at the grocery store. Number two, less food available. And when panic strikes, it will be chaos, making it even harder to get the food your family needs to survive. That's why it's vital, more than ever, to have a survival food stockpile. Introducing the deluxe 3-month survival food kit from 4 Patriots. It has 688 servings of meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with delicious recipes like pancakes, mac and cheese, Aztec chili, and potato soup. They've even got spaghetti and lasagna. This isn't your typical survival food, and over 200